Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while now since I've done an update on any progress I've made on the Elan. Unfortunately, over the past 6 months, the answer is not a great deal for one reason or another. However, this year I plan to finish all of the bodywork on the Elan and get it ready for paint. So how much is there to do? Well, I'm not going to go into full detail on what's needed on the car, but I've identified 36 areas that need work. Now I know there's been some sections cut into the Elan, and I've identified 4 sections that have been put in. Now, considering the amount of work that needs doing on this body, I did consider very briefly just going ahead and buying a new body shell and saving myself a whole load of grief. But 2 things really. The main one being that I like cars as original as possible, and if I replace the body, it's just not going to be original. What with a replacement chassis being a Spider chassis and a new body, originality's gone out the window. So this body is going to be repaired, however much heartache it gives me. Now I know I've done a brief rundown of all the bodywork damage. I'm not going to do that in this video, but what I will do in future videos is show you the area I'm going to be tackling, going into detail about what's been done and what I propose to do about it, and then I'll show you the repair. But quickly now, I'll just show you the sections that have been replaced on the car, which I'm now confident I know what's been done to them. So let's have a quick look. Right, the first and the largest section that's been replaced is a whole new front section. Now, I don't think it was a brand new section. I think it was a section cut off probably a damaged car. So as we can see here, there's a cut line down here, and you can see where it's been attached there by bolts or screws, and all down here you can see the cut line there where it's been bonded in, and also down there. And on the other side, if we walk round, it was cut in here, going down there. So I certainly won't be replacing this, but there are areas on the front of the car where possibly some more damage has occurred around here, and it's been very badly ground out and it needs fully reprofiling, so I'll have to tackle that. The second section that's been cut in is on the rear offside quarter, and we can see here again where it's been cut in. That's the join line there, goes down there, and you can see here a line going down there. So that's where it was cut in. So again, I won't be cutting that out and replacing it, but as you can see, there's a step here and it hasn't been done very well, so I'll have to cut that out and replace that. But I'll go into more detail on all these parts when I come to fix them. The third area that's been cut in is forward of the rear near side arch, and it was cut in from here and here, going across, and then joined here. So again, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to redo this work, but it hasn't been done particularly well and the finish is crap. So that needs to be ground down or ground out and done properly, because you could see it through the paint. It wasn't particularly good. Fourth section that has been probably the worst repaired of all is the centre sill section on the offside. As you can see, it's been very badly repaired, and I wouldn't be surprised if there hasn't been a sort of side impact here at some point. But this is probably the only section I'm going to cut out and replace with a new section. And also, I'll probably, not sure yet, but I'll probably be replacing or cutting out and renewing the lattice on either side. So with those sections alone, there's a fair bit of work and finishing to do to get them back to what I'd consider a very good standard. And other than that, there's loads of little areas that need doing. There's dings and dents and chips and cracks in places. There's some stress cracks in areas. This front bumper, for example, it needs a fair amount of work, and one side has been ground down to the fibres in the fiberglass, and that's going to take quite a lot of work. And on this side there's cracks and holes in it. So on an item like that, which is going to take hours and hours to mend and get a good finish on, it's probably worth my while buying a new bumper, considering that about £70. So I might do that. I'm not entirely sure yet. The rear bumper's fine. Headlamps, again, they both need repair, because again there's stress cracks and damage to the surface of certain areas on the lamps. But I think they're worth repairing. Okay, so that's the bodywork side of things. What's going to happen to the mechanical side and the suspension components? Well, they're all going to need refurbishment. The engine's going to have some work on, and I'm going to do a quick video of that quite soon as to what sort of thing I'm going for. I was going to keep everything standard, but the engine has had a little bit of work done on it. I haven't got to quite the bottom of exactly what's been done. I mean, it's got standard SE cams, but it looks like it's had bigger pistons fitted and big valves. So I need to have a look at that in a bit more detail and decide what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to go for a fast road setup. I was going to keep it as original as possible again, and go back to the original points instead of electronic ignition and keep the dynamo, but I'm starting to change my mind on that. So you can follow that route as it emerges, and I'll be fitting in some of the mechanical components in between doing jobs on the body. The only part that will not need attention, theoretically, is the gearbox, and I know that was rebuilt probably 5 or 6 years before I bought the car by a local Lotus specialist, and it's hardly done any miles since, probably about 300 or 400 miles. So that's got to be in really tip-top condition. So as I say, that's probably the only component that I won't be doing any work on. So rather than me waffling on anymore, there's going to be lots more to come this year on this car. I hope you'll subscribe and like and follow the work as it progresses. I'll probably need to ask lots of questions on the forums and on lotus.net. So yeah, it's going to be a journey. I'm sure I'm going to make some mistakes, but please follow me on the journey. Again, see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.